Granny Anna up in her rocking some white hair, because when I tell you guys I'm old school, you know, I mean it. Hi everyone, in today's video I am going to be sharing with you 5 project management tips that will help you ace your exams. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I am a strong believer in the fact that each and every single one of you is a project manager at heart, studying for exams, writing an essay, trying to get fit, and you know what? Life in general are all personal projects. So if you want to tap into those PM skills or simply level up your project management knowledge and truthfully study smarter, not harder, keep on watching. Number 1, the flow. The 5 traditional process groups. Without getting into all the technical details, what I want you to take away from this first tip is that even study sessions need to have a flow. You can't just jump in there and blindly or without scope or without a goal just try to make it work, because it won't. The 5 traditional process groups is a series of steps that you must go through when approaching a project of any size or type. And to be more specific, they are initiating what is the outcome that you want to get out of this project. What is your scope? What is your ultimate goal? Key, be specific. SMART goals, that's how you set a goal. Side note, you should probably write these down because, yeah, writing helps visually, and also, we talked about mini contracts in my last video, they work. Planning, kinda thought up already, okay, we get it. No, you don't. Have you planned yet how you're gonna study? No, you haven't. I know you haven't. This is the time. You wanna ace your midterms? Take the time to plan. What techniques are you gonna be using? Are you going to be highlighting? Are you making study guides? Are you doing practice tests? If so, how many? Where are you studying? For how long will you be studying? These all are part of your project charter or your project plan. You need to know these things. I'll get into it later, so stay in there. Executing, monitoring, and controlling in the background of all of these 4 processes is monitoring and controlling. So as you're executing, as you're studying and doing your work, you need to have a form of tracking device or tool, which again, I will get into in just a little bit, to give you feedback, see how you're doing, see how much you have to get done. Finally, the last step is closing. This is when you evaluate what you did, how you did, what you couldn't do, what are the lessons learned, and how can you apply this newly acquired knowledge for the future. A lot of people ask me, Anna, I failed my exam, how can I do better in my next one? You have this knowledge. You just didn't do the closing part of the process groups. Take the time after each exam and be like, wow, you know what? Highlighting method works awesome for me. For my next exam, I'm gonna use that. Number 2, the breakdown. WBS, which stands for Work Breakdown Structure. It is less complicated than it sounds. It's basically a visual representation of all the tasks and the relationships between the tasks that you will have to do in order to succeed your project. If you're a visual learner like me, oh my god, this makes it so much easier, girlfriend, okay? And again, I'm gonna shut up now and give you some practical advice, because you know what? I'm all about that practical life. I messed it up. So, all you're gonna need for this is ta-da, post-it notes, and then a wall or a book or your bullet journal, and just go right ahead and do your WBS and sound super project management-y and impress yourself. First and foremost. Ultimate goal, scope, PMP exam. We want to ace it, get 90%, okay? So, what do we have to do? We have to read a bunch of stuff. Really? What kind of stuff? I don't know. I have to read the PM Bach, which is a doozy. I have to read a PMP Volume 1 textbook and a PMP Volume 2 textbook. What else do I have to do? Oh well, I can't just read them, right? I have to review them. So how do you really review? For me, it's doing a study guide. Once I get that done, what else do I have to do? Final thing, practice. Don't forget that. It's gonna save your butt. But really, how much practice? I don't know, I have 1 practice test and I have 2 practice tests. Well, it's not as fancy as PMs do it, but I mean, hey, that's your WBS. No BS. Number 3, the plan. This is where it starts to get serious. I'm not saying that you have to write a full-on legit project charter or a project plan to study, okay? But take these PM strategies and tactics and way of doing things and use them to your advantage. Draft 1 page, do a mind map if you don't like writing that much, to have an overview of, again, what you're gonna use to study, when are you gonna study, where are you gonna study, how are you gonna organize your time, chunk everything. Okay, this week I have to read these chapters. Just have, or use an agenda, just have a good, solid plan going in. Remember that saying that goes, a dream without a plan is just a wish? Well, they meant it too. Number 4, the progress tracker, Gantt charts. Basically, a Gantt chart is kind of, again, a visual representation of what you have to do, where you're at, how you're doing, and just seeing the timeline of how far you've come. It gives you amazing feedback. You don't necessarily have to use a Gantt chart. You can just literally go on Google and type in habit tracker, print that out, and just cater it to what you need, aka studying for exam, and it works just as well. I'm gonna insert an example of my study Gantt chart right over there. If you want me to do an in-depth video on this, get this video to 1,500 thumbs up because I'm creative today, and I will do that for you. And finally, number 5, the adaptability, risk and change management plan. I think that the most frustrating and anxiety-provoking thing when it comes to studying for your exams and your finals and trying to accomplish any goal is dealing with change or unexpectancies that come up and just mess up your entire schedule. Oh, you said you were gonna study on Monday, the only day during this week that you can study. Oh, you got sick, or I don't know, you finished late. Oftentimes, most of us just completely scrap our initial plan and get discouraged and lose hope and be like, you know what, if I messed up this once, I'm messing up the whole shebang. Not if you took the time during that planning phase to think about potential risks, potential changes in your plan, and how, most importantly, are you going to deal with them? If, then, if I lose Mondays, which are my only study nights when I can actually study for my exam, have a plan B. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to me if you like what you see, because I post videos every Thursday because I'm working on 3 big mega epic project surprise things and I have less time to film.